Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I need to boost my audio a little bit. It's always kind of the case whenever I do these whenever I do hobby streams. The microphone's got to be in such a different spot. So let me know how that goes. But today I was not the it was not a fib. The title is not a lie. We're doing Hello Kitty and RX-78 crossover. We are 100% going to try to build it this way. You know, it actually took me a minute because looking at the box, you know, like there was, like they show each of these as separate things, but I was like, I could have swore, like, yeah, you could do this. And so I was like, well, where, what? And it's in the text here. You can see Hello Kitty and Gundam combined. The ultimate reconciliation mode can also be recreated. So I'm making that there will be the instructions here for it. Question's just going to be how. We will see here. I should always pre-treat these so that they don't have you don't have to listen to me tear the plastic off. Okay, and so the other thing that's funny about this that I'm gonna try, or I'm gonna attempt, but I have my doubts, is supposedly that you can build this without nippers. I have many doubts. I have two bold questions to get to when we get to them. But all right, sounds good to me. This looks good to me. Okay, it looks like in general, at least with the Gundam, I need to build the whole thing. I can maybe skip parts of the honestly, I could probably just get the Hello Kitty head and ribbon done, and then we can get into the Gundam part. I have no intention of keeping these, of ever having these be separate afterward. You know, like, because the fun part of this kit is to have the Hello Kitty RX-78, like as RX-78, you know. All right, yeah, so sorry I gotta hear plastic tear every now and then. I'm not a fan of how that sounds in the mic, so I don't expect other people to enjoy it. All right, let me throw these screws in here. There it is. This is the one we need right here. This is what I was saying. I should have pre-treated it before I started. Okay, this I do want to note is one of the best screws. Oh shoot, I forgot. Hold on. I'm gonna look weird for a second. Let's see. I need to quickly just need to get off this screen for a bit because I have to get into the, you know, I had to get into the settings of my camera. Sorry, I forgot. I need to record this. Is it really still only 250? Frick. Or no, it's gotta be more than a half hour, because I think it just the showing of time only maxes out at a half hour. All right, we'll see here. Gotta get this closer to me. No, it is. Okay, hold on. My settings gotta be different. Hold on. Sorry, I'm doing camera troubleshooting here. What does this get me? How is MP4? Is this still more? All right. The podcast is at 30 anyway, so you know what? I'll do this. All right. Do this actually. Okay. Should all be good here now. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so definitely one of the coolest parts of this kit is the sprue. Look at it. Isn't that cool? No, just kidding. No, it's literally that Hello Kitty herself is on a Hello Kitty shaped sprue. Like that's really cool. Like that's a great touch, because then not only that, but then she has a bow sprue, so you could, like, you know, neat. I think it's neat. I just think they're neat. But yes, so let's get to, we will need this actually kind of soon, but luckily with Hello Kitty, the Hello Kitty part itself, we only need to do the head. So now supposedly, I don't need nippers to pull this off, and I can tell you immediately I can tell you that this is not gonna go well without nippers. It it has so much resistance. They like, because it says like you don't like no tools required. But yeah, not if you care about how it looks, because like I just snapped it off there, and yeah, you can see how good that's doing right now. I'm on autofocus. I'm in the center. Okay, you can see how well that's doing against my hand there. So we will be using the nippers. On the plus side, very soft plastic. Does shave right off. So the plastic is good. It's just I just don't think you could do it without nippers. All right. So I'm going to use the nippers on the rest of this. See how much cleaner we can get this. I mean, luckily, yes. From a combining factor, this is pretty simple. Though, I do kind of wonder, you know, okay. I wanted more of just the video game music. I know this is like in the style, like I get when people do it, you know. It's just not necessarily my thing, though. Let me see. Well, I really would have liked maybe just video game music. Oops. Okay, video game study, video game chiptune, the lo-fi playlist. Okay, that might be a good one. All right, let's try this one. I like Game Chops' stuff. I just want something like, I just want to keep it very like actual video game music. Now my vague thing, actually, I am curious about. Am I intended to put some type of get some type of black for the eyes? Because oh, I totally didn't notice. I was getting way too ahead of myself. There's these things. I'm like, it seems so vacant to just have it be nothing. There we go. That's what we needed. That's looking nicer. And then let's see, I need her nose. Nice. And that's most of what we need for now on the Hello Kitty sprue. I'll probably grab the apple just for a fun stand. Wonder if it'll be better if no. You let me know if I do need to change the music volume in any sense. I finally fixed an audio issue I've been having. Like, I've been noticing it on a couple things, but it's been so hard to tell because I haven't been clipping a lot of stuff. So I never noticed it, and I always thought it was just an issue I was having with my like window capture settings. But I didn't notice it was bleeding into it as a game issue until yesterday when I was pulling clips. Actually, the other day, really. And I was just like, what is happening? And I realized it was because I had... So in OBS for streaming, I like to have, for when I record, I like to have things in... I like to have my audio record on multiple tracks so that when I either clip or do something, you know, it doesn't seem as bad. I'm just curious why this was here. I'm guessing, oh, that's probably for the helmet. Yeah, so the bow won't actually go on the head yet, but we do have a... I can't, or at least we can temporarily have a proper Hello Kitty head. But again, the bow has to, the bow will go back on in a bit. All right, that's that. That's good. Yeah, I'm not worrying about the rest of the Hello Kitty body parts, so that's okay. Now it's time to start the Gundam build. I'm gonna grab these just in case. These just look like parts of a Gundam, so I'm gonna grab these quick. Sorry, I'm trying to spread out spruce here. Okay. Run. Okay, I need to use C. All right. All right. These, though, I need. C. This, like, soft plastic is honestly for me, like, one of the coolest things for in Gunpla compared to Warhammer. And a lot of that is because Warhammer does not use posability the same way that Gundam does. It's just not the thing for them. Because, you know, they're a game first. They're a game first, hobby second. I just needed to double check that this does, in fact, need to go on. Here, let's try putting the stickers on first. All right. There's 11. 11 is far bigger than I thought it would be. sticker 6. And the number that comes after 6. What the heck comes after 6? All right, yep, 2, 11, 7, and 6. So that's all good. All right. Okay, hold on. There's something I need to check. Okay, yes, I need to use a different backpack for going on to the I need to use a different backpack for going on to the so I'll just actually preemptively put the one I'll actually need on there. I have confusion. Oh, there's a collar thing that will go on. Okay. Right. I'm gonna wait to put the rest of that on. I just needed to see. All right, a couple more stickers. 13 and 14. All right. That's like, okay. Potentially as good as I'm getting it. It definitely only has to be so perfect because we're going to put that big collar on anyway. There we go. If the focus could stay somewhere, that'd be nice, but it is so funny how much extra involved the RX-78 part of this build is versus the Hello Kitty part. And not just with what I'm doing in like the whole thing. It's actually like way more involved. Yeah, like this part's like a real gunpla build. I'm trying to get it correct, make sure I'm putting it, giving this in the correct spot. D. All right. All right, we're getting an arm. I'm just about to get a full ass arm out of here. Let's see, we need to be this way. Yes. No. We need to be this way. Yeah, it makes more sense now. Visually, it makes more sense. By the way, I would say when we do finish this, which we will this stream, because this is not a long project, I will. We will go back to 14. I just want to I just wanted to especially get this done here. You barely do it. Okay, I will say after a few of these, you do barely need the you do barely need the sprue cutters. The nippers have become quite unnecessary. That being said, it doesn't hurt. Still just use them. Yes, there we go. I mean, it might depend. I may honestly just make this a short stream and call it a day, and we'll kind of see. Kind of partly depends on how my wife's day is going. Okay. These red ones are definitely gonna be ones I'm gonna need to check for spots, because red is these like gunpla reds especially are very showing on like any form of either even excess damage, filing. Blue is another very common one, but I feel like red specifically is egregious. Ooh. I was gonna say, though, I do, while I say that earlier, I do potentially have like nearly 2 hours, so we'll see how. There's a solid chance I think we'll be hitting up the Final Fantasy 14. Oh, I need to do sticker 20s. Oh, that sticker did not handle as well. This one went a little bit better. I will say the stickers on this kit are not particularly amazing, but they will at least technically get the job done. All right. You gotta put a number of stickers on this one. So this will be funky. That right one isn't nearly as good of a placement. Fortunately, once you kind of bend it down, it's like basically impossible to fix. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to live with that. Honestly, like, my whole thing with each of these stickers is this actually probably would look way better if it was just painted. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a good placement. Yeah, these two went good. All right. The final assembly. All the legs, both legs. Fuck. How is that one so difficult? Oh, nowhere to go. All right. Where'd the front of the plate go? Oh, there you are. Okay. Final assembly has gone a little awry. We'll be all right. Hold on. Trying to get the legs to be in a good spot here. Yeah, why does this leg just not want to attach here? or at least stay attached. Right. Something was forgotten here. Oh, hold on. This needs to go in here first. She is armed. Yeah, I want her to have the shield too. You know what? I would say, and it's actually pretty commonly the sabers in their left hand, so. There we go. I should paint this though. I feel like this shouldn't be white, you know? Like I feel as though this should be pink. But all right, we've got our Hello Kitty. She's armed, but not defenseless. I think honestly this is like well worth though potentially like attempting to do a couple of paint spots, maybe like in here, you know, maybe fill in the whiskers. Again, paint this up. But otherwise, yeah. I think it looks good. She's looking good. She's ready to fight Amuro Ray. I am debating one thing here, and I'm doing this off camera for a reason. Now she also has an apple. Is it an apple or is it a grenade? It's for you to decide. But then, yeah, I'll probably just leave her on this stand like this so that she'll kind of sit like that. Stay in the arm socket. All right. Yeah, like this looks good. I'll have to take some beauty shots for the episode, but yeah, I think that's good. The final boss version of Hello Kitty. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you came in just at the end of the build here. This arm cannot stay in this stinking socket. I think it's because of the shield. I think the shield is like pushing it from the helmet. Okay. I'll try not to move the arm too much. I mean, they're not all robot girls. They do just make models of normal women. Yes, but I do get your point. Look, until we were going to end up getting some level of sapience here, you know, I don't think we can get to robosexual. I can't be dating Bender quite yet, you know. Oh. Sticker. Uh-oh. The sticker up here on the collar is not wanting to stay down. It's easier if I just pull the head off. There we go. That'll help. Well, there isn't any robots to necessarily be in love with quite yet, so I think it's all right. We have not gauged it. They have not gauged it to that level of sapience. My Roomba is in fact not talking to me yet. Freaking arm, dude. I mean, Discord users might already try to make robots a girlfriend, but like that's mostly just because they can't talk to women. Well, you always say they, and not just guys. No one knows how to talk to women, not even women. You know, I think you still can get, there's still plenty of people selling the pillows out there. I think there are a number of people still selling those pillows. I've been to a convention recently. They're still out there. I can tell you for certain. All right. But yeah, we've got Hello Kitty. Like I said, I'll have to do some glamour shots for the podcast later, but this was a pretty quick, painless, easy build. Honestly, the sprue for this will still be one of the cutest things of it. How you can get, it's the bow and the, where'd it go? And the head. You know, basically you can, it's cute. I like that. It's very cute. All right. Just need to get these in the box quick. You know, maybe what it could do, I mean, Games Workshop doesn't need to put effort into their sprues. Their sprues are fine. Like there's, they don't need to be fancier than this, you know, like they don't need to be any fancier than this. It's, get enough on here, and I'll especially like get as much on here. I don't need it to be cute. I want it to be efficient so that I don't have to switch between 4 different sprues. Like that's what I want. You know, the few runners, the better. You know, I don't want, you know, I don't need to be like juggling between 5 different of these. So I don't really care. Like, as long as they're like these, where there's a lot of efficiency, it's like the basically like each half of a sprue is basically a model or like and a half or so. This one specifically is kind of a bad example because this is a lot of accessories, but that's what I prefer. Yes, but they have done a lot better, and especially more recent times of having them. Sometimes there's a bit of Waldoing, but we're at least like they are relatively like near each other's number, like 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it's a zigzag, but at least they're near each other. So I have like some realm 22s over here. It's not perfect for sure because you get to like 21, 24, and then there's freaking 89 here randomly. It's So it's not preferred, but I don't know many GW kits that are primed, but I do prefer original when there wasn't push. I do prefer original over push fit, because even when they're still fairly monopose, like a lot of sisters models are, I still do think you get a little bit of extra posability by just being able to glue them versus doing you know, being able to having them be push fit, you know, like the skate, like the Skaven I have, for example, like these are all push fit, and they you know, this is the only pose they go into because, you know, the whole, did I glue this? Oh, I did. You know, like the whole arm here into the shoulder is the push fit part, and so you can't really pose it well. So I do prefer having that bit of posability by having, you know, it be a little bit more of like the old-fashioned way. A great example of that for me right now is this guy. When I made when I built him, you know, there's kind of this was the premise, yes, but it wasn't necessarily this sword, but I could still at least move the arm up and down to get into the right spot. So it's like the realm of like, I'll take it over the nothing. It's not a lot, but it's something. Yes, well, that's because standard Space Marines are a subscription service. You are not getting into, like, when you are into Space Marines, you're getting bulk. You are getting the vast portions of the game. You know, you're getting a bunch of these guys, right? But you get a bunch of them all the time. So, like, yes, each box is like, you know, copy paste, but then you'll get another box in a month that's a different pose, and then you'll get another box that's a different pose. Space Marines, buying new Space Marines is basically a scam. It's because they're getting you for every dollar you got because they know that they'll buy it, right? Whereas then you can get, you know, your CSMs, and you can have your and you can have that bit more of you can have a bit more of that creativity. You know, CSM gets a little bit more creativity, and this is Emperor's Children, but you know what I mean. So, like, and this isn't a dig, right? GW does that because, yes, I very much prefer the guitar style Noise Marine, but I also get why that isn't the standard, right? Like, I get why it's not the standard. So I'm not upset about it. And I like the classic Noise Marine. You know, I like that there are also ones that look like nothing. But because that model exists, it means that we have the creative liberty to add it when we want to. So that's why I'm okay with where it is now. But what I was going to say was, yeah, Space Marines being like a subscription service is so that we can get models, you know, like that other factions can get models like Junith, right? Or, you know, that, you know, GW can pay for AOS to have awesome models like Skaven. You know, they are, it's the pinhead thing is just the flawless blades, and like you can always change their heads, you know? So it's just, I know, I get it. It's a funny meme, but like, the problem is, like, I was around too many people who like took all these things that you're saying as like real knocks against the designs, and then like ignoring the fact that like, and you know, basically ignoring the fact that like their sculpts are sick. Like, look at him. Like, this is an amazing sculpt, and we're ignoring that because coneheads. And so it's always a bummer because I always try to like, I always try to be semi-wary about memeing too hard on any army's design, because I don't want to detract and make it seem like it's actually like something I don't like. You know, yes, the pinheads are silly, but there's so much other good, and I don't want it to detract from that. I mean, and that's fine. You know, that's very Slaneshi. I do wish that we as a community, though, could remind ourselves that Slanesh is more than just sex. Slanesh is a lot of things. It's excess in all aspects. Which is like, for example, the fact that like the Space Marines as a whole generally are about the excess of like battle and obsessive improvement. That was like the large number of them was falling prey to that issue. But a lot of the problem does stem from the fact that Slanesh and Khorne compete too much. They outside when you get out of the hedonism and like sex shit, the Slanesh and Khorne become too similar. And I think that's difficult for a lot of people. But yeah, we are. Yes, well, yes, we moved on from a lot. We have moved on from Rogue Trader, but yes. Dude, there's I want to do a whole episode on a bunch of old lore stuff with Dylan, because it just would be so funny. Some of the shit in old lore is so funny. Fix that later. Yes, I mean, it's not without it. It's just I just like to not have it be the primary focus sometimes. Like, there's a lot of depth to the Chaos Gods, not just like their one shtick. I wonder. So I'm trying to debate. Should I? It'd be like an hour and a half. Let's see. Maybe honestly, I have a feeling it'll be pretty quick. Let's do. I'll put this. I'll put her here. There. I'll put her there. And then let's do. I've got one small kit that we can do. Hit into the backlog a little bit. We've got our Haro, our Momo Haro. It's transparent, so got the translucence like stuff that they've all the rage on in the Gundam base when we went. This should be pretty quick too, so that's kind of why I figured, all right, we can try to do this now in the time we have. Three sprue, well, really two and like a tiny sprue. I'll definitely take that. I think I'm gonna not go with the arms out Haro. I don't know. It's not. Do you like arms out and stuff, Haro? It's just not my. It's not my thing. Oh, but you can store them. That's actually nice. Yeah. The heck? All right, 1 second. Checking something. All right, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna go through a lot of tiny little bits here. So hold on. All right, a bunch of the 11 ones. All right. You know, that's the thing is, yeah, I didn't do any Gunpla until recently, within the last year. So, like, for me, it was, if as a kid, it was always like just like the different like action figures. You know, like I had a burning Gundam. So it was really cool. It was like a battle damage burning Gundam. It was kind of cool. I like that. And then I had like a bigger like toy version of I forget its name, but it's the Gundam that gets stolen. Or no, I think it's the main Gundam. Yeah, it's the main character's Gundam in Stardust Memory. Is that the name of it? We haven't watched it yet. Okay, here we go. Yeah, basically. I have generally, because of me being a 40K person first before Gundam, I often have been picking favorites based on more lore reasons. But I'm not immune to the premise of the like, hey, this is really cool. I don't really care what its lore is, and so far that's with Exia. So like at some point we're gonna do we have a reverse colorway Exia, like master grade Exia build to do. It'll be my first master grade, so that'll be a time. All right, let's attach the 6s first. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would say. I don't think I've watched. I don't know what shows Psycho Zaku is from because I don't think I've watched it yet. Oh, I see how this is supposed to be oriented now. You know, I like Game Chops, but not every song is a winner in my opinion, and this is not one of them. Well, they are Game Chops remixes a lot of video game music or remixes real music to sound like video game music. So there easily could end up being a Tekken song in here at some point. Oh, that's right. They were up there. Okay. All right. 2 9s and the 1 10. All right. 18, 17. Ooh, the stream might have to end sooner than I intended. Oops. How do I get you in there? Jeez. Okay, there we go. I'll just get the ears on before I head off, but all right. Oh, get it there. There we go. All right, well, most of the horror will basically be complete here. I'll just have to get the stand and stuff together for it. Oh, no. All right. Got a little Momoharo. Its ears move. We do technically have to put on the bottom things here, but I unfortunately need to get off the stream. But we do at least have most of this Haro built, and then we've got our Hello Kitty Gundam, RX-78 Hello Kitty. So we got a good amount of stuff for the stream. But all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Please make sure to drop a follow so that you can see whenever I play Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII, Zelda, or more Gunpla and Warhammer. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.